mean,
Hey,
listen, that's crazy. You know, there's no way you hate on house music. What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's OG Boricua Dandada, aka Chef. I'm here with my brother, Mr. Muffins Martinez. I'm out. Weather got better over there. I was busy, so we pushed it back to Wednesday. It is what it is. We're on the other side of 45, so listen, we take our time when we take our time. Before we go into the releases, I had to say this real quick because I'm a massive My Girl Rebel. And I'm going to say My Girl Rebel because she's somebody I got to know with my time in the Impact Zone. And I say this about a lot of wrestlers that I've met there because I never had a bad experience with the Impact Zone ever since I've been there. Rebel was one of the people who I thought she was always beautiful, and you know, I just was a fan. And when I finally moved there, I'm going there. She had a few matches, and we didn't see her for like say one take, which is like 40. And then you know, I started knowing people, so people were like, oh, I think you know, Rebel's only doing the makeup backstage. I don't think they're gonna bring her out. So I fuck around. So what did I do? Take my artistic value and made a whole bunch of signs, hand them to the wife, the kids, other people I know there. And every time there was a match, we started chanting. Didn't matter if it was a male match, female match. We want Rebel. We had our signs. Guess what Dixie did? She put Rebel right back out there to wrestle. She listened to the fans. We got our Rebel back. But you want to talk about one of the nicest people that you can ever meet in this industry. Rebel's one of those people. So when I see that she's got the ALS thing going on, people like me and Muffins Martinez, we love this shit. So we always wish health and everything for our wrestlers. We never want to see them go through anything. And I wish she sees this because I will be a Rebel guy forever, right? And we want nothing but the best for Rebel. We love Rebel to death. And it's a shame because she's a fighter. She'll get through this shit, right? It'll be what it is. But I just wanted to say thank you to Rebel for everything. It always making me feel welcome and being, you know, super nice and sweet for every time I met you. My bad, bro. Please take it away.
No. But definitely, you know, continue on Rebel, man. Beautiful person. I met her a couple of times there, down in Florida, and the last time that I got to speak to her was back in 2018, down in Canada. So they were doing the VIP stuff. So
yeah,
always nice, approachable, love talking to the fans. You know, took the time, talk to everybody, take pictures. Always a pleasure to speak to her. Now I know what she went through. 2 years sitting there, being sick, not knowing what's going on. Always, you know, your body's breaking down on you, and then you finally find out what it is. I went through the same thing as she did, you know, except mine was 7 years, but then the last 2 years was trying to figure out what it was. My legs, you know, losing powers in my leg, my arms, then my legs don't work. Well, I finally found what it was. And sitting there in the room with my parents and then find out that I have MS, you know, when the doctor told me you got MS, I went, yes. Like literally I went like, yes. Because it was either going to be MS, ALS, or this baseball player syndrome, Lou Gehrig syndrome.
Lou
Gehrig disease. I didn't want Lou Gehrig disease, and I said, man, I do not want ALS. So when they told me MS, I went, yes. My parents started crying. The doctor was in shock because I went, yes. But I told her afterwards, and then she goes, okay, I understand now. But not knowing for 2 years, and, you know, and you're seeing yourself not having control of your body, and your body starts to betray you. And now you feel some type of way because your body's letting you down and you don't understand why. And you're going to your appointments and doctors and no one can give you answers. But you're seeing different type of doctors, back doctors, brain doctors, spine doctors, bone doctors.
Yeah.
So you finally get some type of answer. You feel relief when you get that answer because now you say, I finally know. But in her case, being terminal ALS, dude, that's to find something out like that, man. But Rebel, she's been a fighter. She, from TNA, she went to AEW. She did the best of what she had with Dr. Britt Baker. I love the tandem that they have with them. That they had that little show in Dark or Elevation. Dr. Britt and she have to welcome the people come in and stuff like that. So they did the best of that. So she always did it with grace. So for Rebel, man, Rebel, you're a fighter, sticking there. We believe in you, and I'm always going to be a Rebel person. So
absolutely,
Rebel to the end, baby.
Forever,
so, but
forever.
Now, forever, bro. And now to some more somber news. And you saw this, and we were the shock of the week. A couple of more releases, and you had two of the MFTs, with the bloodline, all that kind of shit, and the two of the biggest ones that wasn't really a release. It was more of a amicable, let's just part ways type of deal, and that was the New Day, and that was crazy because you never thought of the New Day ever leaving WWE. And it's funny because Kofi Kingston's been there for 20 years, almost hit 20 years, Mark. And then you had Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods. We know Xavier Woods when he was in the Indies, and then he went to TNA as what? What was his name? Apollo Crews?
Yeah.
Was it Apollo?
No.
Oh, Consequences Creed.
No,
Consequences Creed. And so we knew him from TNA, and we always loved them in TNA as Consequences Creed. And then they had the tag team with the football player, Pac-Man Jones, and they won the tag team titles. So we knew the upside that Xavier Woods always had, and then he went to WWE. And 10 years of the New Day, and the damn unicorns, and the cereal, and the bootios, and the pancakes, and then they got together with Big E. They should still be together, but unfortunately, Big E had the unfortunate accident with his neck, and the surgery didn't. It's either you walk away healthy or in some type of health, or you keep wrestling and maybe hurt this and make it worse.
Yeah.
So before I go on my rant, I don't know if you want to say some things about them before I go on some rant.
I've never been a big New Day fan. Never, right? Never ever was like, I never cared about the New Day. But this is surprising me for merchandise alone, right? Like, this is a crazy loss because Bootios, whatever their cereal was called. I know they were doing like Game Up as well.
The up, down, side to side.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right. Which was
Contra unit.
Xavier Woods thing. Yeah, like the tournament that he had and stuff like that, which was kind of cool outside content of wrestling.
So, but the thing is, releasing somebody like Kofi Kingston, who I think he's won. I know he's a heavyweight champ, tag team champ, Intercontinental, and I'm not sure if he was ever U.S., but this is a guy. This is a guy at every company. He excelled. See his growth, right? And athletic, fast. Just he's the 5-tool player. Guy can talk on a mic. He could wrestle against anybody. He was the one that I was like, oh snap. I was surprised that they got let go, but I was really surprised that he was good. Right.
Well,
so
before when they're on ways.
Yeah. We parted ways.
So WWE champion, United States champion, Intercontinental champion, and 16-time tag team. So he basically had the Grand Slam.
He's got the Grand Slam, and you can debate. Now, I won't say they are.
NXT tag team champions, World Tag Team champions when they had the world, name in there, and then Raw, SmackDown World Tag champions. So, and SmackDown. So yeah, so they had them all. But yeah, so I'm sorry, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so you could debate that who's the greatest tag team, top 5, and they can be on that list somehow, right? I'm not saying they're better, huh?
No.
16-time champions?
Well, best tag team in WWF, WWE? Yes.
In WWE?
Yes, but not outside of that.
No. WWE.
For sure.
Property.
Yes.
That's it.
Their faces,
N.W.A. or MLW.
Their faces are in the Mount Rushmore of WWE tag team champions. Yes.
Oh yeah. They're super. Cool. They did their thing, obviously. Yes. But I like Kofi Kingston. I thought Kofi was someone who did, and I think that I think that's the smartest place for them to go would be AEW. I think they'll do a lot of good there. It's a big market for them, so it's not like you drop off to like TNA, which is still rising, but AEW has a bigger brand at the moment, so it's not a big drop off.
Well, my funny thing is this: that he's been there for going on 20 years, but he's been only in WWE because he was a W product, so he was trained there. So where Creed is outside of WWE, so at least he knows the land, how things work outside. So if they do continue, they might be good. But the thing that bothers me is this, that I want to say about the rent, is that people keep saying WWE did this, WWE did that. They're talking about breaking people's contracts down to 50% or double the pay and have them resign at a lower, which makes sense because and this is why it makes sense before people start getting upset. This is no longer WWE. This is no longer the old Vince McMahon WWE that we used to know for the last 40 something years or whatever you got into wrestling. This is now TKO. This is TKO wrestling. The same thing that is TKO UFC. The same thing as TKO, whatever the boxing thing is called. This is TKO wrestling. This is now considered a business. Now we have to look, Chef, you and I are part of TKO. We have to look at the books now. We have to see who's making all this money and can we bring this money down? Because in order to make money, we have to make money. But we cannot be paying Roman Reigns or whatever $10 million a year, stuff like that. That's we have to start. Exactly. We have to start saying, okay, who's worth this much? Bring it down, find some new contracts, and if you want to, you do. And if you don't, you don't, and you leave, because this is no longer that family business anymore. This is TKO. This is all about putting money in their pockets, getting money from whoever wants to pay them money to have their product in their city, their state, their town, or whatever. This is what it boils down to. It's all about money. So now we turn now into our attention to the 2 NFT people that were let go. Now you have the rumors about Roman Reigns probably maybe taking a pay cut to stay there. Okay. Now you've seen, I don't know if you heard or if you saw Monday Night Raw when Roman Reigns said they were doing the contract signing with him.
You said that to me.
Yeah. And when he said, you here, because you said you got to take care of your 7 kids. I've been here for 10 years. I've got to take care of 107 of us. You know what I'm saying? So right there, when he said that, my mind went into some business minds. Do you think when he said that he was throwing a shot back at TKO because they released two of his family members, and by saying, "Okay, you don't want to do business with us the way we want to do business. This is how we're going to do our business. We're going to start slashing your family members and see you feel it, and put that in your mind that to tell you and let you know you don't run this, we run this." You might have been had some type of pull when Uncle Vince was here, because you could have walked out, or Vince, oh, we need him back, whatever, get him back on the phone, and Vince would have been to the house like, yo, okay, enough of the shit, let's talk.
Yeah, it's business.
Like face man to man, like man to man, like he did with Brox and anybody else. Now this not anymore. Now it's business. It's either you're here or not. So now we're gonna find out at this backlash coming up. If Fatu wins the WWE title, then you know what happened.
Wait, you saying that if Fatu wins, Roman's gone?
If Fatu wins, that means they're trying to teach him a lesson. Like, you and I need it. You.
Oh yeah. You
need it, but we want to show you that you're not. This is a business. We could build anybody.
So
the fans are going to be there. Period. Fans are going to be there. Fans could go to social media and bitch and complain all they want, which they do that already. We do that every single day, every single minute of the day. At the end of the day, they're going to always show up to the shows. They're always going to buy the merchandise. Unless somebody goes, it's time for us to boycott WWE, and you start boycotting and you start hurting their pockets, then you'll see how things change. But that's never going to happen.
Hear me out real quick. Let me try to explain this from how I know how to explain it. And if we got anybody that knows sports, they go, okay, I know what Chef is talking about. The New York Jets right now, right? They're not. You wouldn't even be considered a D1 team in college. They were that bad, right? The Jets haven't won in over 15 years, and I'm talking about playoffs. I'm not talking about winning Super Bowl. That last time they won was since Namath, right? They've been historically terrible 20 years straight. They have the worst owner in sports, who I thought was James Dolan, who owned the Knicks. Woody Johnson's the worst owner ever. And the only way, Woody Johnson is terrible.
Okay.
Woody Johnson's terrible. And the only way to change that is don't go to the games. Don't go buy merch. Don't go buy beer and hot dogs. Watch from home and see how fast he sells that team, because he's losing money. If it's not going to make money, he's out. That's sports. The same way I'll complain when I see these athletes that can pretty much dictate where they don't want to play somewhere. Well, I'm not playing here. I'm not playing here. You know what you got to do? Get back to the old ways. I signed you on the contract. You signed it. You knew what and live out your deal. I don't care if you don't want to play your last year. Guess what? I'll fine you. And until you play that last season, you're.
Yes.
So you do what I tell you to do. Yeah.
That was the old day.
Because I signed you. I gave you that lifestyle you never had before. It's because I signed you. I gave you that opportunity. I put that food on your table. I want you to play the sport you played. I want you to wrestle for the company I did. Guess what? I no longer value you. So it's my way, highway. Unfortunately, my way is going to hurt you. So now I agree with this, because this whole, I'll just go to AEW, good luck. Because you're going to be sitting on the bench until I feel like saying you can go to AEW. Honor your contract. And I don't want to hear, like, what's his name? What's the guy that just went back to MLW? He got cut by WWE. He's the champ of MLW.
Oh God, I see
Killer
his face.
Killer Cross.
Yes.
Killer Cross. Now I'm there. Mark was there when went to Canada shortly after. He comes from Lucha Under, killing.
Yep.
Comes to Impact Wrestling. Fans went over that fast. Oh shit, he's one of those ones. He starts to get into his head, realizing how great he's moved up real fast. I don't want to work for this contract. Well, fuck, you just signed it. That's the contract you just signed. I didn't tell you. I gave it to you. You signed it. You and whoever your person sat down thought this was a legit contract. Because if it was a joke of a contract, you wouldn't have signed it. You would have done the PBA if you were smart enough. WWE is not going to do that. TKO, this whole I have leverage because I'm Roman shit. Now, I'm not saying Roman's acting that way. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, exactly.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The way that the wrestlers were, where you had the leverage because I'm the star, TKO is not trying to hear that. We run the show. You do the entertainment. If you can't get down with that, guess what? We don't need you. And WWE is such a business that, yeah, Roman can go across town. He can go sign over there. Get your pop. And you know what happens? The next guy comes in and fills in for WWE, and fans eat it up because the WWE fan base is like that. Anything that they throw in front of you, you go right for it. Also, remember, this is the guy that all the WWE universe was shitting on Roman for years. Now he's the tribal chief.
Yep.
Right? Why? Because they kept pushing him until you finally folded and said, you're going to be a fan of this guy. We don't like Roman. Anyone that they want, y'all going to like. And that's just WWE. It's why they're the Mecca.
Yep. Good. It's all about business. And they're going to give you enough rope to keep you in check or make you think that you're the one who's in charge until that rope becomes too long and you start choking yourself on the actual rope. Like they would do, like they would say, you give the dog enough rope to go out and see. But once you start going around in circles and start putting the chain around his neck to start choking himself, that's when you got to pull him back now. Because now you give him too much space and he hung himself.
Yep.
And that's where I think a lot of things are going on now, where the rumor with Brock Lesnar was, you know, how they said supposedly was that he was supposed to have the match at SummerSlam against Gunther in his hometown and then have Gunther go over like he's done already twice with John Cena and Goldberg, right?
Yeah.
Was it Goldberg that he put out?
I think it was Goldberg. No, Cena.
Some shit like that. But I know for sure John Cena. And doing the same thing with him and have him top out in his own hometown. And that's the reason supposedly Brock Lesnar retired at WrestleMania. But he's saying, I'm done. I'm not going to do this shit. And he did that on his own. And he should. See, and he did that because he doesn't have a contract with TKO. He's just like, okay, whatever. I'm not doing that shit. So, you know, he walked out at his own man now. So now I think TKO is kind of going on a defensive switch now by saying, yeah, we can't have someone else do the same thing and show us out. You know, we're the bosses. We can't have the what they say, like the lunatics run the asylum.
You can't let the inmates run the asylum.
So we can't have this happen again with what Brock Lesnar just did. So it's contract. Either you're, like you mentioned, back in the days, and that's why I always respected sports growing up, because people have respect for the coach. It wasn't about the star player. It was about the coach and the coaching system. And then it got to the point that, well, who are we here to see? The coach or the players? And now the players kind of took over, because now, like you mentioned, now they're the ones that dictate where I want to go here. Hell no. I'm going to send you to the place that gives me the more value back for you. I'm not going to, you sitting down and then you want me to compensate you by sending you to the place you want to go. They really reward you by no hell no. Oh chef, you want to go to New York? Oh hell no. I'm gonna send you to, what's the coldest place I can send you, Montana or some shit. And I'm gonna call them first, like what you got. Because this guy said he wants back to New York, he ain't going back to New York. I'm gonna send him to Vancouver. Down there.
Damn, not even Toronto.
Yeah, remember when they used to have Vancouver and nobody was like, hey, we're going to Vancouver? Hell no. I'm gonna send you out to Montreal. I'm gonna send you out there to the cold. You don't dictate where you're gonna go. But and people still complain about things, and they keep forgetting that the wrestling that we grew up with and people were seeing years ago, that wrestling is over. That doesn't exist anymore. It's all about making the money, and we're gonna go wherever we're gonna go, whether it be Saudi Arabia or Al-Qaeda or whatever and shit. We're gonna go to the place. As long as they pay us, we're gonna go there whether you like or not. You're not giving us a couple of $1 million a pop at once to go there. All the money they're gonna make from doing this stuff. So, I don't know if there's gonna be any more releases or how things are going now with this contract stuff. Don't be surprised if you see somebody come out and say, well, I'm no longer here.
I got a name. I think is next.
Who's that?
Bailey.
Yeah. Who that was you or Rob who said that?
No, that was me.
So, because I'm thinking, like, why would Bailey be next? Like,
so, I got people that work in this industry, right? Yeah. Like, so I had someone reach out to me, go, yo, bro, something just came down the pipeline. Thinking, like, people were saying Bailey might be next. I said, well, why would Bailey be next? And they said she's probably going to try to do the mutual part ways thing. It's not that she's just going to be released. If she wants to be able to, progress, and she feels that she's kind of stalemated right now, so she's probably mutual release, like a departure.
Yeah, mutual part ways. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense if that's how she feels. Like, she's stagnant at the moment. I mean, there's so much female wrestling out here that she could reinvent herself and get herself rejuvenated, and then in the future make a comeback. Oh shit, Bailey's back after 5 years being gone. There's TNA, there's AEW, there's
do me a favor, close that. This is what I'm saying with WWE. So right now everybody's high on Julia, Stephanie McCool, or Stratton. There are so many women, Jade, right? Jade Cargill. Like, there's so many women that the Alexa Blisses and the Charlotte Flairs, why do you think they're together as they are? They're not bubbling like that no more. All these younger girls are coming up and making a name for themselves. So shit to keep the fans like, oh shit. Bailey, I think, is stuck in the mud right now.
Man, that'd be crazy if we come out and Bailey's the one that's next to parted ways with TKO and stuff like that. People are gonna, I know some fans were definitely gonna lose it. Like, oh my God, let Bailey go. Damn you. Now, and now I sit here and I laugh because you don't have Uncle Vince to blame for shit anymore. Now you see people coming out with all these crazy reports. TKO did this. And, dude, you don't believe half of the shit anybody says until you see it and it happens. And okay, that happened. Nobody saw it coming. Well, we said it. Whatever. You didn't say shit. Yeah. So I don't know, man. All I know is MLW is doing something, but we still don't know what the hell they're doing. I know that last week they had their on the first. They had the MLW against the Mexico CML show, and they had a pretty good show. This is the second one they did. And I'll go over the card, what happened. Los Hermanos Caballeros defeated Ikuro Kwon and Nakamura which I mean, I think Okamura now is part of
Country?
contract unit. I guess, like, why would you team them?
No, it sounds like a triple threat.
Well, no, it was the tag team.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is Nakamura the snitch?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
so they got a snitch in the group now. Then they had Olympia defeat Lady Frost. You had Shasi defeat Gara Negra for the MLW Featherweight Championship. You had the Skyscrapers defeat the Alberno and Euphoria. You had Neon defeat Diego Hill. You had Angel Del Oro and Sobrano Jr. defeat Austin Aries and Trevor Lee. And then you had Templario defeat Kushida to become the new MLW middleweight champion. So now this happened May. So this is May 1st. We still haven't seen an episode of Fusion yet. So we're 5 months into the month. This is May 1st. So when we will know when that happened, if they ever show it, because I don't even know if MLW will even show this, because I was kind of surprised, and actually I was kind of shocked when I saw CMML putting a lot of effort on this show, having interviews with the stars of MLW.
Yep.
Having the sit-down show that they do, which I love that, by the way. The CML show, like 2 days before, they have like on the studio, and they have them ask questions and stuff. I'm like, shit, why doesn't anybody do some shit like that up here? You know, and put it on their YouTube page or whatever. But I didn't see anything from MLW like doing anything for this. Like, dude, ain't you supposed to be like doing some type of on stuff on social media, putting eyes on this so people will know to go buy it, because it was on Twitter for $7.99 if you wanted to see it for the night on May 1st. So I didn't see any type of MLW pushing for this to be shown. And all we've seen is they keep, and what we keep seeing is they keep signing people. And signing people. We just saw this somebody else yesterday. But I showed you the guy that signed. Which, by the way, I've never heard of the guy, but I know Rob K did or has. But he said he doesn't like him because of a power bomb that he did on somebody.
Yeah, he hurt somebody.
Yeah, he hurt somebody
like that. I don't know.
So, what's the guy's name? Rick Savage.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, because my whole thing is this is the problem, right? With anything you get into, when you put something out and there's a wave, you got to ride it. You let that wave have to recreate a whole new wave, right? And there's too much wrestling. TNA is on a super uprise. N.W.A. had a deal. I just finished watching, and I know she's not there right now. I've been watching American Gladiators on Prime. And
the new
Camille's on American Gladiators. Jesse Goddard's on American Gladiators. Wardlow's on American Gladiators.
How is it?
Oh, it's freaking awesome, dude.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm 3 episodes in. It's fucking awesome. Goddard's name is Steel. Kane. She's fucking. If you give me this Camille and you allow her to be that and fucking anywhere she wrestles, bro, she's so fucking charismatic as this Hurricane character. The first episode, I don't even remember what the challenge she was like. She's a gladiator, and she wrecked this girl, right? I mean, fucking wrecked this girl. And she runs into the crowd and goes like a hurricane, old school sounding thing. She's going whole crowd to her. She's talking greasy. I'm like, this is the Camille we. It's freaking awesome. But here you go. You have all these people like a Wardlow who hasn't been seen. He's recently on. Ride that wave. You now have the American Gladiator fans behind Wardlow, who's known as Fang. and utilize that, right? Because if he goes on his social media where people are now following him, AEW, but they're old school like me, who grew up on American Gladiators, and they're like, oh, I love Fang, I'm a supporter. Oh shit, he's a wrestler over here in AEW. She's a wrestler at AEW. Jesse Goddard is at what else? No shit.
Yeah, OVW.
OVW, right? Oh shit, look at all these people here, right? Like, so ride the wave. When you fucking kill that wave, and you know how hard it is to start a wave again, and you lose fan base like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be consistent, especially at this level.
Well, on April 15th, they announced they had signed Alisa Almeida as the MLW's first female announcer. That was on April 15th. Then we saw on April 22nd, Big Damo got signed by Major League Wrestling. One of your ICW guys.
Yeah.
Then on April 30th, Tamaya, one of the girls from down in where she's from, Duke Wrestling. Shit. Thank you. Yeah, Duke Championship Wrestling down in New Mexico. That's where she's from. She's the female champion there. And then they just signed Brick Savage on yesterday, as a matter of fact, when I sent you the thing. So
Yep.
in 15 days, they signed one ring announcer and 3 wrestlers. And last night, one of my favorites, Corinne Joy, is coming to MLW to be wrestling this Saturday, because this Saturday they have another show from
Tennessee.
Chattanooga. So, you know, they're having all these shows that are no longer being shown that they did on a monthly basis, but all these shows are supposed to be for fusion tapings. So now you're into May. You got 5 shows that you've done, and you still hasn't produced anything yet. So it's 5 shows they've done, 5 months in a row now since beginning of January. That right there is what, 4 hours per show. So that's 5 shows. That's 9 hours. Hold on, no, Jesus Christ, 5 times 4, 20 hours of shows. So when the damn thing's gonna come up? When they go on break in June? That's what I'm guessing is gonna happen now. Is when they comes out in June, July, August, when they go on break, because you had 20 weeks of shows going weekly. So I don't know, unless that's what they're waiting for, is that they're gonna do waiting for that to happen. Then I didn't. Okay, fine, but no, we're already in May. Like, how many other shows people are going to be signing? You still can't get nothing to tell us anything.
Alex, man.
And the good thing is that at least they're the wrestlers are telling us.
My bad, bro. My shit is like,
They're dying. The computer dying. Hi, Chef.
I knew my shit was gonna be fucked up.
Your laptop dying?
No, my shit
Well, Chef's having.
is dying over here.
Oh, Chef is having technical difficulties.
Am I good?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you hear me?
All right. You know what?
Can you hear me?
This my shit is fucking up. Hold on. I don't want to lose.
Well, we hit everything, so. But just in case, don't forget to follow us, subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel, our Urban Wrestling Network. Follow all the networks. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasts you listen to. We're there. So listen to us there and enjoy all our shows. Chef, take us out.
Oh, my thing is fucking up. I'm trying.
Check us out.
Come on.